Hey guys, let's get to it. Sorry for being late. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where the number is. It's weak. Let's get your number. $73K is really weak. And they're hitting TNA on it. That doesn't make any sense. It's a really weak number and they're hitting TNA on it. Usually they would rally these. So 73K is your number. And usually they would rally us on this. I don't know why they're not, but they're not. The bond market dropped. TNA's fallen off a cliff. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. TNA might bounce on this. Let's go take a look here. See if we can get involved. Yeah, I mean, it really shouldn't be doing that. It actually should be rallying. See what you do here. Let's go take a look at DPST real quick. What did it do? Fell down. Why are you falling on bad numbers? Hourly earnings are up. Monthly earnings are in line. Unemployment rate's where it is. Bond market's rallying. What's home builders? What are they doing? They're down. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. So pretty much the exact opposite of what you want to say. Let's see what you do here. It's really not what you want to see here. This is really interesting. This is going to finally go now. Give me a second here, guys. That thing looks like it might go. I'll tell you what I want to do here. Let's go here for a second. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to figure this out. All right. Let's mark this off and take a look at it. I don't know that there's a lot to do here. I'm not really sure about that yet. Let's just watch here and see what you do. Let's go take a look at this on a 5-minute. I couldn't get for the life of me, the camera link wasn't working. So maybe we'll bond later, but we have a lot to do. So I don't know how much I'm going to play with it. So there's your range, and that's been the range all morning, hasn't it? So let's see how this goes. And then we'll kind of go from there. But I mean, that's been your range. So we really want to watch this. I'm not really sure we're going to go anywhere of the utmost important right now, but I think we might. Let's give it a minute here. I don't think you're going to go anywhere, but let's see. They have 10 o'clock data, but I don't know that 10 o'clock data is going to do a darn thing. I mean, where can you wind up going to here if you're really broke? You have some support under here, but would you get there? I don't know, man. I don't know if you're going to do that or not. What are we talking about? For the guy that told me to use the weak magnet versus the strong magnet, thank you. It's actually making me happy. How realistic is that? I don't think that's very realistic. I mean, you could get down there. That can happen. It's only 50 basis points. It's not really the end of the world. That can happen. They would be the levels I would use. I really do like the I really do like the way it's holding. Like you really should have here. Like I'll show you where I'm going with this. And I'm just trying to watch this for a second, see what's going to happen here. I'll show you. So like the bond market's imploding, right? Like that's clearly what's happening here. And that's definitely an issue of to me of importance. Like that's definitely something you want to watch and pay attention to and make sure that it definitely does what it's supposed to do. So and what I mean by that is like they're buying bonds, right? Like that's really what you want to see. And they're definitely buying bonds. So I mean that's definitely important to us because if they're doing that, then you should, by definition, you should be putting yourself in a position here where they're buying TNA and they're not really doing that. They're actually selling it, which is really kind of weird. And I'm not really sure why they're doing that. So like, I don't know why they would do that. It seems like it's over now, right? But let's go take a look. So maybe we get a piercing pattern out of it. Let's go take a look at DPST. Let's take a look at now. Let's go take a look at TZA. All right, so you're imploding because of that. Okay. Let me just go take a look at something real quick. And I'm supposed to see if I'm missing anything here. Hourly earnings, the participation rate's the same, the government's up. So government payrolls down, manufacturing's down, and the private sector's down. So we have less government payrolls. We have, unless they're saying that it's government jobs or it would have been higher. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. All right. All right. So You're trying now. Take a look at this on an hourly. And let's say you were going to break out. Then where do you go? Do you head up to this area? I see like you're trying to flip it now. I don't know if you're going to or not. I really like the way you're holding on this number because it's a weak number. I wonder if you're going to hold. Let's go take a look at something. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Okay. If you get the hammer, you're going to hold. You get that, you're going to hold. If you get this, you're going to hold that area. Jesus. Where are we on a 4? I mean, you're pretty done, man. Like this is not really where you sell. Like usually there can be more pain, but you're down to April 21st like levels, and it's a 4-hour I'm showing you guys, and it's really important because it's not about stock selection this morning. You're really dealing with a little bit more than that. Give me 1 second here, please. Let's go to it here. But this is super interesting to me. I'm spending a lot of time on the indexes today. Because I think everyone's going to go on one side. I'll tell you why I'm doing it, why I'm spending so much time. You know what? Give me a second here. I think I can. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me a second. All right. I think I got this fixed. I think we're good. I think you're okay with the market. Give me 1 second, guys. Do this and see if this works. I think I fixed this thing. It's bothering me. I think that'll work. I think that'll work for now. So we'll just deal with it for now. But I think we can bond. Hold on. We can bond. Yay, we can bond. Um, I think you bottomed. I think you're bottoming. Okay, I do. I don't know. It might have to be higher, right? Just a little. You'd think with all these presets that have this stuff done. I think you bottomed there, but let's see what you do. It'll be an interesting bar if you form that here. You know, if you undercut that, you didn't. But I think that's how you really have to view it. Yeah, I'm wondering that too, man. I'm wondering that too. So this was a really good quarter. So like really good quarter. Really good. You know, I'm going to take questions now, but I'm going to just say this. Like I would watch this really closely today, like really closely, because you're gonna make a big decision this morning. If you undercut here, you're going to get smoked. But I don't think you're going to undercut. So, oh, they just found one of my shorts. What did they find? NVO. You believe I tried to? I ran out of freaking NVO to short. Isn't that crazy? One of the biggest companies in Europe couldn't find stock to short. Damn hippies. All right, let's go to all the questions today. Let's get to it. Jonah coming in first. Well, I mean, he's got the right to say whatever he wants, right? He's got the right to go out there and say, I don't agree with what Powell's doing. But that's the beauty of our system. Powell could just be like, I don't care. I actually think Trump's being very un-Trump-like with how reserved he's been after Itchy basically smoked him. Like, I know it sounds kind of like nerd talk, but Itchy crushed him with the tariffs on his speech, like totally crushed him. You know, I'm not a fan, but you have to respect, you know, he's doing what he thinks is right. I don't think he's doing it for political purposes. I know I'm going to get a ton of DMs in the community on that. Like, oh, he hates Trump. You know, I think he'd be happy to be left alone. Like, I don't think he's the greatest, that's for sure, but I think he'd be happy to be left alone, to be honest with you. So, you know, that's kind of where my head is here. And, let's see what happens. I don't know, dude. I'm not yay or boo any politician. You want to get me to yay or boo to like really get me in there? Do me a favor. Let me know when one of them comes out and actually bans stock trading. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, they actually care. Until then, it's just a graph, the whole thing. Gold going higher. I don't know why it wouldn't, because they're not going to cut rates and inflation's going higher. Like, I don't think you should be cutting rates into an inflationary environment, and inflation's going higher. PCE is pretty freaking clear about that. You know, CPI doesn't matter who's in office. They really can play with that a lot. But if you look at something like GLD, since that came out, like, you know, there's something inflationary that I'm not picking up that's out there, and they're running gold on it, which means they're probably going to, you know, go out there and run. They might run. Do they run silver like they run gold? I don't know. There's not a vehicle that I trade worse than silver. Like, there's literally isn't something that I can trade worse than silver. Like, it's crazy. And I know that's a limiting belief, and I'm putting it out there in the universe, but I'm telling you, there's nothing out there that I trade worse than silver. Like, nothing. So, but I do think that people are looking at gold and saying, hey, you know, this is probably going higher. And I think they're right. You know, I do. I think that they're right. I'm surprised that you're doing it this fast, but yeah, I think there's definitely something to it, man. I wouldn't sleep on it. That's for sure. You're probably near a really key level too. So, you start closing over that 55 again, you're going to get a lot of buyers in there. And I don't think that's the worst idea in the world, candidly, to go out there and start saying, yeah, I want to be in there. I really don't. I don't think that's the worst idea in the world. Really what you want to see here is, can that hold, or are you going to break there? Hopefully I get a pullback and I can get involved, but that would be my demarcation line here. I'll try and get through all these. I know, Joe, I know people don't like him. I'm not saying that that's why you're saying what you're saying. I just don't. I mean, he's got every right to say, I think he's doing a lousy job. He can have an opinion. We might not like it. We might not think he should, but he's entitled to it. I'm not a fan of Itchy, but I do agree that you should not be cutting rates. I don't see the argument to cut rates, except people want to buy houses and interest rates are too high. And interest rates were insane. Like, this is what people don't get about this. This is the whole thing that people truly aren't getting at this, like, at all. And like, this is interest rates, right? This is not normal. Like, what most people think is normal, it's not. And he's just, it's not normal to have zero interest rates. Like, this is what interest rates have looked like since what do they go back to, the 50s? Like, this is what you get. And if you sit here and look at it and you did the simplest of things and, like, okay, well, here's the 200, like, it's crazy. And I know it's significantly higher for people trying to get houses now, but I remember my dad having an 18% mortgage. I remember it back in the day. Back in here, I remember an 18% mortgage, and they had another mortgage because they couldn't get the full mortgage. So they had another mortgage on that. Crazy what you remember as a kid, right? But this is what people think they're supposed to. You're not supposed to have this. You're not supposed to have free money. I know people want it, but yeah, I think you are pulling back. I think you need to be super careful today. I don't know that it's the usual suspects right now. I think it might be story stocks a little bit. That's a tough one for me to buy, man. I love it. I love NVIDIA. That's a tough chart for me to buy. When I open at the high of the day and I close near the low and I'm gapping down. So the most important thing for me with a chart like that is the previous day close. And do the people that sold at the end of the day, do they change their mind? Do they make another decision? What's up, John? Okay. Sorry. Do they make another decision? Are they like, oh, we should have done that. That was a bad idea. And I think that that's really where you want to go with it. Like the AVGO here, that's, I have a lot of this. And I was thinking about this, last night. Like, I got to the 300, I reversed. That's completely encapsulating. For those that want to know what a bearish engulfing looks like, you're looking at it at the top of a chart, and it encapsulated a doji. And like, I got a lot of other stuff here that's kind of freaking me out. You're freaking me out, man. And I've got a huge swing in this that I've done very, very well with. I mean, I'm up in one portion of it. God, I think we're up, give me 1 second here, please. I think in one portion of it, I'm up over 120 points. So, give me 1 second, guys. Fig's breaking out for you guys playing with that thing. Oh, you see it right here? Hold on 1 second. I'll come back to it. Don't talk to me about valuation. You're just trading dreams. That's all you're doing. But if you look at this here, right here, okay, just use the bodies, just like Mickey told Rocky. Just use the body, the body, the body. Right? Say it. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And now you're flipping it. Say you flipped it. Bonk, bonk. So you just got to make sure you're above that. But you probably come back up to here. You probably come back to 148 at least this morning. Probably. Okay. And this is pretty much following lockstep with it. So that's pretty cool. We got that going for us too. So once that breaks, should go. All right. What else we got? I want to go back to this AVGO. So I'm really, I'm vexed with it because I keep looking at it and going, man, I'm going to get rid of the pre and the post. Like, I thought 240 was it for a while, and then I got 280. And then I'm looking at 305, and I'm thinking about buying calls. And then I watched the action yesterday. I think if you're an investor and you listen to those conference calls, you're crazy not to be buying this stuff. As a trader, can you come back to like 260, 270, 240? Yeah. I mean, could you come back and test a 22? Yeah. Do I want to go through that? I don't really know why I wouldn't. I don't really care. Maybe I just move it, just leave it and say, as long as it doesn't close below the 55 at this point, because we're in back here from where we bought it in the community off this break. I mean, they came out and said, we're buying $10 billion of our own stock in the open market. Like, tell me to buy your stock without telling me to buy your stock. So, I don't know. And then even the video yesterday, I hedged. So when you have reversals like this at the top of a chart, you gotta, everybody wants to sell it like it's a rolling, it's a 3, it's a stage 2, like they get into their stages, right? Like, this is the stage 1, this is your stage 2, and everybody wants to sell it as stage 3. Like, why do I want to sell in the stage 3 or 4? Like, why? I want to sell at the top of a stage 2. Like, that's really what you should be trying to figure out. Like, how do I sell at the top of stage 2? And it's usually what I refer to as a control bar that establishes it. And then if you try to attempt to get over that again and fail, that's usually telling you that you're in a stage 3 and you just don't know it yet. Follow along for more tips. But I think that that's super important. And I look at this and go, well, maybe we'll just pull something like this, where you had earnings and then you gapped up and then you go sideways. And it very well could. I think that for me, the larger issue is going to be the tariffs. Like, it's way more than we thought that they were going to pay. And the other thing is, EU's deal with the US is really bad for EU. And that's why you're getting companies like Ferrari that are just like imploding off earnings, and then people are just like killing it again this morning. I really can't stress that enough. Like, that's definitely part of it for sure. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm not going to be able to stay long today, guys. I got a ton going on. Well, I'll try to get through all the questions, at least at the big dogs here. I own this. I'm not a fan. I'm not really feeling it right now. It's not really doing what I wanted to do. I have a swing on in it, and I already know that I probably have an issue, and I'm probably going to get stopped out. Like, it's already reversed on me, but I'm going to let it play itself out. But I probably am going to get stopped out of it the way it's acting. It's the largest institutional short by far. And if they're going to short names, they're going to pile into what they know well. So they usually will pile into that. Coin was really bad. I shorted it last night. What do you do with it now? Do you short it now? It was really like, look, I'm all for the payment systems. I think there's a huge market for this thing. There is no other way to say it, but then they just have a good old-fashioned growth problem. And it's just not there, man. So when people saw that, they were like, ew. And then as they kept speaking, it was just got like, ew, like it just wasn't good. So I do think that they are going to kill it with payments. I do think they're going to kill it with the stable coin and the tokenization. I do. Doesn't mean it's going to happen by next Tuesday. So you got to figure out where you're at. Fundamentally, I think you turn it around, but man, oh man, yeah, this was really bad. So do you short it now? I think it's pretty realistic that you're going to come back and test this 55. If that's enough for you on a short, for me, that's really what I'm more leaning towards. I'd want to be a buyer there than anything. If that makes sense. Like that's kind of where my head is with it. I'd rather be a buyer there. But I shorted it last night. I'm not going to complain. The Figma just like it can go a lot higher. The way it's acting. Happy Friday, Lise. Yeah, I do think that too. It was funny because I went over this in the week ahead video on Sunday where I was showing these guys like, hey, if you were trying to figure out how to play the VIX and you look at this thing from like Monday on, like, you're up $3 and you're probably just starting. The tariffs were a lot higher, and I think that's going to throw a lot of people off. So I think Hood can get smoked. I think Hood can get absolutely unequivocally smoked. So you have way too much retail in here. But, do you stay down? Like, you got to figure out what you're trying to do here. Like, are you trying to short? Like, are you short-term shorting it? You're down $3 this morning. Like, you missed your entry. Your entry was yesterday coming in and taking the risk. So I really think that's how you have to view it. For me, I don't think a retest of these things getting to their 55 is unrealistic for this thing to drop 20 points. Like, I don't think that is a ridiculous thing to have happen. So that's really how I view it. There's no cuts, man. There's no cuts coming here. Like, I don't think those numbers are bad enough to get cuts, but I do think that the new guy, no matter what, whoever gets appointed is going to cut rates. Like, no matter what, they're going to cut rates. So, we have to understand that. Well, Reddit was really good. Like, Reddit was a really good report. And, the question for me is, does this market lift or does it sell down? I'm leaning towards you're probably going to have some kind of pullback really early, and then people are going to panic, and then they're going to look at it an hour later and wonder what they did. I'm just going to say, I'm getting there, man. I'm working on it. I don't think, what's up, Troy? Hello from Phoenix. Hello from Miami. I don't think it's an overreaction. I think you have to understand who Amazon is as a company. Like, they'll cut margins to gain market share. That's who they are. And it works for them. But they're taking decade out looks on what they're doing. And that's really how they're viewing it. So keep that in mind. What's up, Journal? Yeah, volatility is definitely back. Tesla, really, that level is going to be it. So you're really going to watch this level again. You're right there. It's that. I mean, it doesn't really get any cleaner, does it? 300 is a big freaking deal for this thing. And I don't know that you're going to get down there. So it's the same level over and over and over again. And when you get there, you usually bounce. So you just want to watch, but you usually do bounce. There's a huge thing there, huge market there. SRPT, I think that trade's pretty busted. B-Sky, I wouldn't go near. I'd be more interested in ASTS, and Jeffrey, I'm more interested in ASTS at 51. You've been holding there like a beast, man, like a freaking beast. So when you get there, you're you might want to pay attention to this because like some of these things are getting to those levels. Guys, I got to jump. So I can't get to everybody today, but I can already hear the alarm going off and I'm super late. I'm just going through this super quick and saying if there's something I missed that I got to hit. Reddit. We went through Reddit, Bishop. I actually ignore it if you just keep going over it over and over again. I don't talk about what I talk about. I talk about losses all the time. Yeah, all right, dude. Go get a cup of coffee. Relax. Bro, it was dragging all week. All week it was dragging. 100%. Yeah, but it's that kind of market. I actually think I do tell you to make good choices. That you have to really watch this. I actually think that the XLF was telegraphing what's going to happen. Guys, I got to jump. I'm super late. I'll talk to you later. Trade to win. Make good choices.